and then after we get through like the materials in the PowerPoints, you're going to use the steps that we figure out, or sorry, that we find in the presentation, and you're going to have a chance to go through it on your own. Okay, so the book I read was The Dance of Anger, and the novel by Harriet Lerner has helped thousands of women. It's focused on women, but I'm sure it's helped men as well. It's helped them find the root to the problem and problems with their anger. And so today we will go through some of the questions she gives in the book that you can ask yourself to help you figure out the root of your anger. And once you find the root, you can better assess the situation and why you're angry. Okay, so quick background. Some things she says in the book is that anger is neither legitimate or illegitimate, meaningful nor pointless. Anger just simply is. Anger is something that we feel, it exists for a reason, and it always deserves our respect and attention. You can't just ignore your anger, you need to figure out why you're angry and go along with it. Can we go back? That's good?
That's good.
Yeah, go back.
So one of the first questions she asks is, what am I really angry about? When we're angry, we often don't realize what we're actually mad at. Obviously, we're mad at a situation, but like what part of it made us angry? You're not mad at the entire situation, like you're mad at something that happened during it. So how you can get through this one is you look at the situation as a whole and assess what upset you. So say you're in an argument with your friend and you walk away angry at her, but like you weren't mad at her before the conversation started. So there's a point in the conversation that upset you, and that's what you need to pinpoint is what part of the situation that made you angry. Okay. Second question is, whose problem is it? After figuring out why you're actually angry, it is a good idea to ask and analyze the situation and establish if it's your responsibility to be angry in the first place. Sometimes it's best to let go of the anger if it's not rightfully yours to begin with. Sometimes we like to take on the anger of our friends as our own and be that friend that's angry with them and help them get through it. But if you take on the anger yourself, you often put yourself in a vulnerable position, or you're angry over something that you have no control over. So if it's your situation, then you have a right to be angry. But if not, then just be a friend and comfort that friend and don't necessarily be angry with them. Okay. How can I sort out who's responsible for what? Don't feel obligated to take responsibility for the anger of someone else. Be angry at only the things you can deal with, and let others do the same. Don't take responsibility for anger of your friend. Like, if they don't feel angry and it's something that upsets you, it's not your place to feel angry. Like, let it go. It's not your situation. But if it is a situation that involves you and you have a right to be angry, then don't ignore that anger and push it off. Like understand it and understand why you're angry, and then go from there. How do I express my anger? So first of all, express in a calm and like verbal way that you're angry. Don't expect everyone to just know that you're angry. If you don't tell them, oftentimes they aren't even aware. So make it a verbal point to say that, hey, I'm upset. Secondly, just take a breath and think of how exactly you're feeling. Of how you're feeling exactly, and how you came about this feeling. If you don't understand why you're angry, then just say, I'm angry, I'm not sure why yet, and give me a second. Most people will understand. And then finally, express why you're angry. Explain what you're feeling and what part they had in making you feel this way. Don't just ignore just say I'm angry and then expect it to be solved if you don't know why you're angry. Make sure you're telling them that you're angry as well, because if they don't know, then they can't really help the situation. How do I communicate without attacking? This one's much simpler than it sounds. This one isn't as simple as it sounds. I messed up on that one. We all can act first and then think second. We want to communicate our anger without attacking, so we don't want to come off as like verbally attacking the person or even physically. You need to think about what you're saying before you say it. Take a step back, count to 10, breathe, and think. Then proceed. Don't act first, think later, because oftentimes you'll say things that you regret, or you act hastily and you end up losing a friend, or making the situation much worse because you didn't think it'd take time to comprehend what was actually the root of the problem. what risks might I face? Always take a second to weigh your losses. Is getting angry worth a chance of your losses? Consider that before you act on your anger. If not, let it go. It may not give you the satisfaction of dealing with your anger, but it's better than the things you could have lost. So if you're angry over something small, and it's made you angry to a point where you could lose a friend, weigh your options. Is it really worth losing a friend, or is it better just to let it go? Okay, now it's your turn. Do part 2 on your worksheet and use an example of your own. See how this works for you. If you guys have any questions, let me know.